Hello, scholars. Much of this class is centered around your library equity audit project. It's your final, if you will. So we thought that we would right away talk to you about the requirements for that assignment so you can get started on it immediately. I'm putting it in module one. Module one will always be available. The module should not close out, so you'll be able to go back and grab the material and the handout really and the assignment description from module one for the library equity audit. So I'm going to share my screen here so that we can jump right in to talking about what that project entails. And so first and foremost, let us take a look at the description here. So you can find it, as I said, in module one. You'll see two links, if you will. Library Equity Audit Project Final, and then the presentation. So it's two parts. And the final is the actual project. Okay, so part one, if you will, is the actual project. And I will go into, if you click on the link here, you will see a description of the project. Let me go out and come back in so you can see what I see. And here we are. Okay. Literature equity audit. Begin this assignment by gathering a collection of 8 books, children's, adolescent, or topical collection. So I want to say right off the bat, I do not want you to wait to the last minute. This is a 7-week course. This is what we used to call a sprint course. And I don't want you to wait to the last minute and pick 8 Curious George books or preschool level books just so you can hurry up and read them. You're doing yourself a disservice. Pick good books that you can read. Of course, you may not, if you pick like a Harry Potter series, I'm going to be realistic. I'm not expecting you to read the Harry Potter series, but what I want you to do in 7 weeks, what I want you to do is perhaps you've read it before, and now you're going to skim it and look at it through the lens of this project, the literature equity audit. And so you would read Harry Potter, you would look at what's the representation in the book? How many female protagonists or lead persons do you see? Is there diversity? Is there ethnic diversity? Is there racial diversity in the book? Does this book deal with somebody that's disabled or ableism or racism or sexism? And if there's somebody, like for example in the X-Men series, in a wheelchair, how are they portrayed? And so you will use this chart here to assess that. Of course, there's a place for your 8 books. But it says, for example, this is a detailed analysis. Main characters are white, main characters of color. Another thing, you do not necessarily have to pick a series that features diversity. Like, for example, there's a series by Mildred Taylor, which includes Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And in most of her books, the children that are represented are African Americans. They're the protagonists. In fact, there's in one book, there's a couple of books, I think, in Friendship and another, The Gold Cadillac, I think, by Mildred Taylor. There's a young black female protagonist, which is unique. You could pick something like Anne of Green Gables that presents an all-white characters, and no black people are present, or black or brown people. And so you can talk about what that means and what you see in the book. How is religion, main characters who practice diverse religious or religious traditions. So go through and you can just check off what you see. Now, many of them you won't check off. Many of them will say no. Like older or unmarried females are portrayed in a negative manner. You may see that as assumed to be bitter, unfulfilled, crazy, or boring. In this project, let me say this. You can pick something like Hunger Games, the Hunger Games series, but there may not be enough books. I said this before. There may not be enough books to do 8, so add books to that. Perhaps Susan Collins, I believe that's the author, has other books that you can put with the Hunger Games series. Or series of unfortunate events will be maybe a good one because there's so many of those. Or you can pick themes. And I've said this on another discussion. You can pick themes like books that feature black characters, or books that feature representations of female characters. So you can pick themes. It's called social class portray books that feature Native American protagonists or Asian. This is a really fun project. It's really involved. So start right away. I do have kind of a timeline I'll show you in the syllabus where I think you should pace yourself. I kind of have a pacing guide where you should be. Like I said, I think next week or this week, pick your books. At the end, this is the nuts and bolts of the project here. At the end of the project, it's going to ask you some questions. You could put these in an essay format, or you can just answer them under the questions. But after you read your series, or even as you read your series, you're answering these questions here. What conclusions can you draw from analyzing your collection with the above factors? If a teacher was using the set of books you selected, what could someone infer about the classroom culture? So this is the bulk of your project, okay? Again, do not wait to the last minute and pick 8 elementary books. Now, if you're an elementary teacher and you're sincerely wanting to do some representation, I respect that. If you're a kindergarten, first grade teacher, first grade teacher, and you're an elementary ed major, you want to pick something at that particular level in a serious way, of course. I don't want you to wait to the last minute and pick Cinderella and Snow White, and just people every semester. I say every semester somebody does that. Not the stereotype, but often it's a guy. Some dude like, oh man, I goofed off. I blew off Dr. Child's project. So the night before, I just picked, eight books of Clifford the Big Red Dog, and I read. This is my series. Okay, you all have to get used to my sense of humor. So I want to say that now. So that's part 1. The second part will flow once you have completed the main part, part 1. Once you have completed the library equity audit project, the literature equity audit project is so. The second part is the presentation. And so what I want to do is give you examples. Now, it'll be 8 to 10 minutes. Now, listen, this is very important that I need to say this. Do not just upload a PowerPoint by itself. This is a YouTube presentation. I want a link to you presenting a PowerPoint. The best thing to do is through Zoom. I would say the easiest way to do it is via Zoom, because you can share your screen and display a PowerPoint. But do not wait to the last minute and just create a PowerPoint and submit that as your project. You'll fail. That's a failing project, because I want to see you present it. Okay, I want to see you present your library equity audit, or literature equity audit. And so therefore, go ahead and do that. Now, let me go ahead and show you an example, like I said I was going to do. So bear with me here. and I'll give you quickly. I'll give you an example of one of the final presentation, so you can know what I am looking for. So actually, it's pretty straightforward. This is an in-person class, so when my students recently did it in person, they actually physically brought the PowerPoint to class and they presented. You all will be doing a YouTube presentation. Okay, so here's one. But nevertheless, this will help you understand sort of how I want you to present it. Okay, I'm just trying to find. Okay, this is a decent one. This is a decent one. Now I'm being really picky. Okay, Dr. Child, make a decision and stick with it. You know how you have a lot of different options and then you get obsessed with trying to narrow down one. That's what's going on right now. I'm looking at examples. Okay, what I'll do is show you an example of a student that did Disney, did a Disney presentation. So let me just cover up the name, and here we go. Alrighty. Okay, at long last. So this is a student that she chose 8 Disney books. And like I said, I don't mind you doing children's books or even very young children's books, but that you take it seriously. I thought this was a really fun project because, believe it or not, I'm a Disney fan. Princess and the Frog, I even like the original Snow White and the original Cinderella and all these things. And Pocahontas, I'm a huge Disney fan. So look, she did female representation, talked about that. This is her final presentation based on her project. Race, ethnicity presentation, overall conclusion, classroom cultural impact. And so perhaps the student could have brought it out more, but this is a decent example. So that's all I want to say there. But you will do yours on YouTube. Don't just upload the PowerPoint. All right, thank you. And we will talk to you in the near future.